Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here again, and today we finally got the big patch we've been waiting on in Borderlands 4, as well as the first free seasonal mini-event, Horrors of Kairos, which is largely underwhelming, to be honest, especially in comparison to past Halloween events we've gotten in the Borderlands franchise, and the weekly update to the endgame that, again, is a little disappointing. I'm not going to lie, I had assumed Borderlands 4 would be the next major game that I could not put down, but after reaching endgame and playing this game quite a bit, I have struggled to stay motivated to jump in and grind, and that's really disappointing for someone who does love the Borderlands franchise and thinks Borderlands 4 is overall the best base game that we've gotten so far. It just feels a little lackluster once you get to the end game. I'll kind of explain why, but I'll do another deeper video on that in the future. Anyway, as far as the patch goes, we did finally see the bug fixes that everyone had been dreading. Basically, the nerfs to the throwing knife, Vex's bleed build, and some other overpowered interactions. Now, these aren't strictly nerfs, they're instead fixes to unintended interactions that were making the scaling on those items and abilities way higher than they were intended to be. So I'm not surprised this was changed, but I don't think any of them are unusable at this point. We also saw some buffs, but more importantly, a lot of quality of life and performance updates that make the game significantly better, or at least should, and I think that's a good step in the right direction. Making sure everyone's playtime runs smoothly is the number one priority for Gearbox, as it should be. So other than that, we also got the weekly update for the activities that you can farm in the endgame, starting with the Maurice's Black Market vendor location, which is now in Elpis Orbital Shatterfield. This is a very odd location. Definitely look up a video if you don't know where to find it, because it is quite convoluted to get to, and you can get some random legendary from that if you want to go check that out. But yeah, it's a little confusing. I'll leave on the screen, you'll see roughly where it's at, but it can be a little bit frustrating to find if you don't know where to look. We also got the update to Moxie's Big Encore. This is going to now be the Battle Wagon, which is located at a drill site, which I think is a pretty easy farm overall, even if you have like the right build. I was able to get a shiny version of the Affinity XXXL, I apologize, which is not bad. It's a decent sniper rifle, so I'm glad I got that out of the way. You can also farm for your Bugbear in different varieties, which I think is a solid auto rifle as well. And then finally, there's the Compilation, which is a shield that I think is, again, these are all worth farming if you don't have good versions of them, because they are useful to have in your bank. Even if you don't use them right now, they could be really viable in certain builds down the line. And I think farming the Big Encore when it comes around for these bosses is the way to go, because it's the best way to farm for these legendaries. Meanwhile, you will also see that the wildcard mission is now Dark Subject, and you'll get the legendary Kickballer, which again is frustrating because you'll go through an entire mission to try to get this thing, and then you have to redo it, and it does take quite a bit of time, especially with some of the dialogue in the game that you have to wait on. So I don't think farming the wildcard missions is the best way, but the nice part is you do get a guaranteed legendary at the end every time. As far as the Horrors of Kairos event, this is barely an event in my opinion. Essentially how it works is you are going to be roaming the open world, trying to find world bosses, those shimmering kind of opaque orbs that you'll see from time to time. Jump in, you'll fight one of the bosses. Normally it doesn't take all that long, defeat the boss, and then in your inventory is where you will find open reward for one of the potential 2 legendaries that are available. You can also get some non-legendary drops from that as well, so it is kind of frustrating. Those world bosses are very easy to beat, but they are frustrating to find. I will have a video later on a farming location that I found that seems to be pretty consistent, but overall it is rather annoying. You do have to wait a few minutes in between every farm in order to keep trying to chase these. Now, as far as the items go, you can get a skin for all weapons. You can get also the legendary weapon, which is fine, I think. I mean, it's not the worst weapon in the game right now. I do feel like it is a solid option, but I don't feel like it's going to be the best one to get, the Murmur. So it is a TDR assault rifle, and yeah, if you like TDR weapons, this is going to be one that you potentially want to check out. But then we get to the Scully grenade, which I feel like is, compared to the other options, is very underwhelming. It looks cool. I like the animation that you get, but ultimately, I'm probably not going to use this for very long. This event lasts from October 23rd to November 6th, and then you can also get a head that's used by all Vault Hunters, which is a shift key that I will leave in the description down below if you don't have it already. And yeah, just in general, I think this event summarizes my feelings on Endgame, where it's rewarding enough that it's worth farming if you are interested in playing the game. However, it's also annoying enough that I don't necessarily want to do it for extended periods of time. Plus, there's no real reason at this point to farm, as there's no higher level to use this gear on. You don't really have a place to farm, like to use these insane builds. You can one-shot basically every boss in the game. You'll see videos of people essentially taking 5 seconds to defeat one of the vault bosses, which are supposedly the hardest in the game right now. We will have invincible bosses down the line, but the first one doesn't come to the game until, I believe, December. So we're still quite a ways away from that as well. And overall, it is just not the best place to be for me and my playtime to jump into Borderlands 4. I want to get my characters ready for the invincible bosses, but that leads me to the second problem, which is all the issues that pop up when you create a new level 30 character. And at the end of the day, I'm just not really interested in spending all my time farming when I do believe there are changes that are going to happen that are going to make things a lot easier. Anyway, I do feel like this is a frustrating time to be a fan of Borderlands 4, just because I had such high expectations and I'm a little underwhelmed right now. Again, I do feel like overall the game is pretty good, but there's just some issues that I think need to be corrected before I'm willing to invest my time, energy, and effort. And so, even with this big patch, I don't know how much I'm going to be farming. I don't know if I'm even going to play much of the seasonal event, especially because I'm not super interested in either the weapon or the grenade. But I'd love to hear from you guys. Are you guys jumping into Horrors of Kairos and trying to enjoy it as much as possible? Are you disappointed that it doesn't live up to the Borderlands 3 Halloween event that we got? That was a new location, a new boss, and all of that. It felt significantly better, in my opinion. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video as always. Comment, subscribe, have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.